You are small, born into the hushed dark of a hidden space, surrounded by warmth, breath, and the deep, earthy smell of soil. You don't yet know the name for sun or savannah, or what waits beyond the walls of this safe place. For now, there is only closeness. Your mother's rumbling purr, the soft press of your siblings, and the steady rhythm of something ancient holding you. Before we begin, take a deep breath and let the room grow quiet. If these soft journeys bring you peace, feel free to like and subscribe, and let me know in the comments where you're listening from and what time it is there. It's always comforting to know who's resting alongside us tonight. Now, close your eyes and let the wilderness unfold. Your world is a tapestry of sensations woven in darkness. Your eyes are sealed, two delicate lines on your small face, not yet ready for the light. It is not an empty darkness, not a void, but a place of profound fullness. It is the darkness of a closed room, a space defined by the things it holds. A presence that presses gently on you from all sides, a soft blanket that muffles the universe. This darkness has a texture, is the texture of the warm, humid air, thick with the scent of life. It has a sound, the deep, internal hum of slumber. You do not form memories of images, but of feelings. Your memory is a library of warmth, a catalogue of scents, a history of touch. You do not see the world. You feel it, and in feeling it, you know it completely. You feel the constant, living heat of other bodies, a universe of warmth that cocoons you entirely. On one side, you feel the immense, mountain-like presence of your mother. She is not a shape or a color, she is a geography. She is a wall of fur and muscle that radiates a deep, unwavering warmth, a living furnace that promises life itself. On the other side of your small body, you feel the softer, twitching forms of your siblings, a shifting puzzle of paws and ears and tiny, round bellies. You are one piece of a warm, breathing whole, a single note in a chord of new life. There is no beginning to you and no end to them. You are a single, shared entity of warmth and slumber, your breaths rising and falling together as one. There is a subtle tremor in the ground, a vibration that travels through the packed earth of the den, up through your mother's body, and into the very core of your own. It is her purr. It is more than a sound your unopened ears can register. It is a feeling, a deep, resonant hum that seems to originate from the center of the world. This gentle, steady vibration calms the frantic, fluttering beat of your own new heart. You feel it in different ways depending on how you are positioned. When your head rests against her flank, the vibration is a deep bass note that hums in your skull, a soothing resonance that quipples the unformed thoughts within. When you are pressed against her belly, it is a broader, softer vibration that seems to massage you from the inside out. It is the first language you know, a constant reassurance that says, you are safe, you are here, you are home. The vibration thrums through your bones, a lullaby sung not into the air, but into your very being. It is the baseline of your existence, the quiet engine that powers this small, dark universe. It is the sound of contentment, the sound of a power that is, for now, entirely focused on your well-being. When it is there, all is well. And it is always there. Your senses of smell and touch are your true eyes, painting a rich and detailed picture of your surroundings. With every soft breath, you draw in the story of your world. You smell the rich, sweet, and heavy scent of milk that clings to your mother's fur. It is a magnetic scent, a promise of comfort and life that pulls at something deep inside you. It is the most important smell in your world, the scent of absolute belonging. Alongside it, you smell her own unique musk, a scent of warm fur, of dust from the plains, and of a power you cannot yet comprehend. It is the scent of your protector. You smell the other small bodies around you, your siblings, each a faint echo of your mother's scent, mingled with the new, clean scent of their own fur. And beneath it all, you smell the den itself. It is a complex and ancient perfume. You can isolate each note if you focus. The deep, cool, and slightly damp scent of the packed earth. A smell of life and decay held in perfect balance. There is the dry, woody, almost papery scent of the roots that thread through the walls of your shelter, a reminder of the trees that live above in the world of light. And there is the faint, mineral temps of the stones that form the den's entrance. A clean, hard scent that speaks of permanence and strength. This is the smell of security, a scent you will associate with safety for the rest of your days. Every breath in is an affirmation. You are here, in this specific place, held and hidden. Touch is your most immediate reality. You feel the texture of your mother's coat, the slight coarseness of the outer guard hairs, and the impossible softness of the downy undercoat beneath. You feel the damp, rough surface of her tongue as she grooms you in long, slow, methodical strokes. The journey of her tongue is a predictable and comforting map. It begins at the crown of your head, a firm, wet pressure that moves between your unopened eyes, down your nose, and around your tiny, folded ears. It moves down your back, a broad, warm stroke that covers your entire body, and finally curls around your tail, giving a gentle tug. Each pass is a wave of warmth and pressure that seems to wash away any trace of fear or discomfort, leaving only a tingling sense of cleanliness and care. It is a ritual, a silent conversation that says, "You are mine, you are clean, you are loved." You feel the soft, yielding bodies of your siblings. A tiny paw twitches against your cheek. A soft ear flicks against your own. One of them shifts, and the entire pile of sleeping bodies resettles with a soft, collective sigh. This constant, gentle contact is as necessary as air. It is a reassurance against loneliness, a physical reminder that you are part of a litter, a family, a pride. The pressure is a comfort, a living weight that anchors you in this new, strange world. Sometimes you feel a coolness. It is the earthen floor beneath you. When the pile of bodies shifts and a patch of your own warm belly meets the den floor, the contrast is startling but not unpleasant. It is a reminder of the structure that holds you, the solid ground beneath the softness of your family. It is another boundary, another wall defining your safe and enclosed world. Your ears, though not yet fully open, perceive this world as well. Sound is not sharp or clear, but muffled and deep, as if heard from underwater. You hear the soft, rhythmic puff of your mother's breath, a slow and steady tide of air moving in and out, in and out. It is the sound of her life, the constant companion to her purr. You hear the tiny, high-pitched mews and squeaks from your siblings as they dream, their small minds already running through the fields of a world they have never seen. They are dreaming of the same things you are, of warmth, of movement, of milk. You hear the faint rustle as your mother shifts her immense weight, a sound like leaves skittering across the ground. And from far away, beyond the thick earthen walls of the den, you sometimes hear deeper, more mysterious sounds. A low rumble that is not your mother's purr, a distant call that is sharp and strange. These sounds are faint, stripped of their power and threat by the protective earth around you. They are just ghosts of sounds, abstract notions of an outside world that has no meaning and holds no fear. Your world is here, in the chamber of her purr, in the cradle of her scent. Your universe is precisely the size of this den, and it is a universe of absolute peace. An instinct, ancient and profound, begins to stir within you. It is a new sensation, a hollow feeling that blossoms deep in your belly. It is a gentle ache, a quiet alarm that grows with patient insistence. It is hunger. This feeling awakens a new kind of energy in you, a purpose that nudges you out of your sleepy contentment. The need for something more, for the warm, sweet relief of milk, becomes the single focus of your existence. You begin to move, and it is the hardest work you have ever known. Your legs, so used to stillness, are weak and uncoordinated, barely able to hold your own weight. You push with your back paws, your tiny claws, no bigger than thorns, scrabbling for purchase on the cool, packed earth of the den floor. Your front legs paddle, pulling your body forward in a slow, wavering line, your head swaying with the effort. It is a clumsy, sprawling journey of only a few inches, but it feels like crossing a vast continent. You are a slow, determined explorer in a world of giants and obstacles. A sibling's sleeping form is a mountain range you must navigate around. A small dip in the den floor is a valley to be traversed. Your head sways from side to side, your nose twitching, casting about for that one all-important scent. The journey is not a straight line. You veer left, finding only the coarse fur of your mother's leg. You push right, bumping into the soft, unresponsive belly of a sleeping brother. A moment of confusion, a brief, mewling cry of frustration escapes you. The scent of milk seems to be everywhere and nowhere at once. The hardship is not one of pain, but of immense effort. Every muscle in your tiny body strains. Your own warmth begins to rise as you work, a small engine of determination. This struggle is your first lesson in survival, a quiet, unseen battle fought in the safety of the dark. It is the first time you have had to work for your comfort, to strive for your peace. Just as a wave of weariness begins to wash over you, you feel a soft, wet nose nudge your flank, gently pushing you in the right direction. It is your mother, ever watchful, even in her light slumber. Her touch is a compass, her silent guidance, all you need. Her scent grows stronger, warmer, more concentrated. And then, after a final, heroic push, the goal of your great effort is achieved. Your questing mouth closes around the source of warmth and milk, and a feeling of profound, blissful peace washes over you, dousing the small fire of hunger in an instant. The relief is total and absolute. There are no thoughts, no fears, no memory of the struggle, only this, only the sweet, rich taste of your first earned meal. The deep rumble of your mother's purr vibrating directly into your jaw, and the gentle, rhythmic pull and release of your own contented breathing. The world dissolves into a simple, perfect equation. Darkness, warmth, and fullness. Your muscles, which a moment ago were so tense with effort, now relax into a boneless state of calm. The gentle ache in your belly is replaced by a pleasant, heavy warmth that spreads through your entire body, down to the very tips of your paws. You are new, you are fragile, and you have just completed the most important journey of your life. And now, held fast to the source of all life, you drift away again, not into the simple slumber you knew before, but into the deep, earned sleep of a survivor, while your world remains a small, dark universe of warmth and milk. Another consciousness, inextricably tied to your own, begins to stir. It is your mother. Her sleep is not like yours. Yours is a deep, bottomless well of oblivion. Hers is a light, porous slumber, a thin veil of rest that is easily pierced by the slightest sound or scent. She is a guardian first and a sleeper second, an internal clock wound by the ancient springs of instinct and responsibility tells her that the world outside the den is changing. The deepest point of the night has passed, and the faint, grey promise of dawn is hours away. But the herd animals, the prey, will be at their most placeless, their most vulnerable. Her own body, lean and powerful, feels the subtle call of its own hunger, but it is a distant second to a far more powerful drive, the need to provide the lives she has created, the warm, breathing pile of future and promise nestled beside her, depend entirely on her strength, her cunning, and her courage. She begins the slow, deliberate process of detaching herself from you. It is an act of immense care, a reverse puzzle where each piece must be removed without disturbing the others. You feel it not as an abandonment, but as a slow, gravitational shift. The mountain of warmth beside you carefully, almost imperceptibly, begins to move. A single, massive paw, larger than your entire body, lifts from the ground with the slowness of a rising moon. The muscles in her leg tense with practiced control, and she shifts her weight, a gradual transfer so smooth it is like the turning of a tide. You feel the pressure against you lessen, replaced by the soft, yielding fur of a sibling. She untangles herself from the knot of sleeping cubs with a surgeon's precision. Her movements fluid and silent, honed by generations of mothers who have performed this same ritual in the deep quiet of the night. Before she leaves, she pauses, her great head lowered. Her senses, far more developed than your own, take one final inventory of the den. She smells the sweet, milky scent of her litter, the dusty earth, the familiar musk of safety. She hears the soft, rhythmic breathing, the occasional sleepy squeak. Everything is as it should be. The knowledge settles in her a quiet assurance, and with a final, silent step, she turns and slips away into the narrow tunnel that leads to the world. Outside, she emerges from the mouth of the den, not into a world, but into a cathedral of twilight. The air is cool and thin, a stark contrast to the humid, close warmth of the den. It feels clean and sharp in her lungs. She tastes the dew on the air, a faint, metallic sweetness. The land before her is bathed in the soft, silver light of a waning moon and the impossibly distant glow of a billion stars. The world is not black, but painted in 1,000 shades of grey, silver, and deep, velvety blue. Her eyes, which see poorly in the bright glare of day, are perfectly attuned to this low light. The pupils are wide, drinking in every available photon, transforming the shadowy landscape into a place of surprising clarity. She can distinguish the shape of a distant acacia tree from a termite mound, the silhouette of a resting wildebeest from a large boulder. She stands motionless for a long time, a statue of stone and shadow, allowing the world to settle in her senses. She is no longer just a mother. She is a huntress, a creature of the plains, a perfect and silent predator, her entire being attuned to the new environment. The soft, nurturing purr in her chest has been replaced by a deep, watchful stillness. Her whiskers, exquisitely sensitive, detect the subtle shifts in the air currents, telling her the precise direction of the breeze. Her ears, two sensitive discs, swivel independently of each other, scanning the soundscape. She hears the immense silence of the pre-dawn savannah, a quiet so profound it has its own sound, a low, gentle hum, and, within that hum, she picks out the details. She hears the rhythmic, almost mechanical chirping of a single cricket nearby. She hears the faint, dry rustle of a nocturnal rodent scurrying through the dry grass many yards away. She hears the soft, leathery flap of a bat's wings overhead. And from miles away, so faint it is more a feeling than a sound, she hears the whooping call of a hyena, a sound that makes a muscle in her shoulder twitch with ancient animosity. She catalogues each sound, assessing its distance, its direction, and its meaning. Her nose, always testing the breeze, performs an even more complex analysis. The night air is a river of information. She can smell the location of a herd of zebra upwind, their scent a combination of hay, dust, and a faint, sharp temps of ammonia. She can smell the heavy, loamy scent of a warthog burrow. She can smell the fragrant blossoms of a flowering bush. She reads the story of the night, a story of who has passed, where they were going, and how long ago they were here. This deep, sensory immersion is her preparation, a silent meditation before the work begins. She begins to move, and her body is a masterpiece of quiet efficiency. She does not walk, she flows. She keeps her body low to the ground, her shoulders hunched, her head down. Each step is a deliberate, calculated action. She lifts a paw, places it down softly, and only then does she shift her weight onto it. The large, soft pads on the bottoms of her feet absorb the sound of her own movement, silencing her passage over the earth. She is a ghost, a ripple in the tall grass, a shadow sliding between other shadows. She moves with a purpose that is both patient and relentless. She knows this territory intimately. She knows every dip and rise in the land, every thicket that offers cover, every game trail that promises passage. Her journey is not random. It is a careful, methodical sweep of her domain. She is not just looking for food. She is patrolling her borders, reasserting her presence, ensuring the continued safety of the hidden den and the precious lives within it. Along her path, she pauses to investigate the scent of a rival lioness that passed through hours ago, her nose deep in the grass, deciphering the age and status of the intruder. Her lip curls in a silent phlegm in response, drawing the scent molecules over a special organ in the roof of her mouth for a more detailed analysis. Satisfied the rival is long gone, she continues, her silent patrol uninterrupted. Her focus is absolute. Her mind, which in the den was filled with the simple, warm thoughts of motherhood, is now a sharp, clear instrument of calculation. She sees a small herd of gazelle grazing peacefully, their delicate forms beautiful in the moonlight. She watches them for a long time, assessing their health, their alertness. She notes the way the wind is carrying her scent away from them. She could take one, but they are far away, and the effort would be great. The risk of scattering them and creating noise is too high. Her goal is not just a meal, but a quiet meal, one that does not advertise her location to other redditors, to the hyenas whose calls still echo in the distance, or to other lions who might challenge her. The safety of her cubs is paramount, a silent instruction that governs her every decision. A quiet kill close to home is better than a large one far away. This is the quiet hardship of the solitary mother. She must hunt with a double mind, one part focused on the prey, the other forever tethered to the thought of her vulnerable offspring. She moves on, a silent river of tawny fur. Her path takes her near a dense patch of scrub. She freezes, her body instantly transformed from fluid motion to motionless statue. One paw is held hovering just above the ground. Her ears are locked forward. Her nose twitches, deciphering a new scent, something small and close. It is the scent of a scrub hare, a creature of habit that often sleeps in the same shallow depression beneath a particular bush. She does not move for a very long time. This is the heart of the hunt, the waiting. It is a state of supreme alertness, of every muscle being held in a state of perfect readiness, yet utterly still. The moon slowly traces a path across the sky, and still she waits, her patience a physical force, a tangible thing. The world shrinks until it contains only her and the unseen source of the scent. She is no longer thinking. She is pure instinct. Her body coils, a slow, almost imperceptible gathering of power in her hindquarters. Her tail, which had been still, gives a single, almost involuntary flick, and then the stillness is broken. She does not roar or snarl. There is only a sudden explosive release of energy. She covers the distance to the bush in 2 silent, bounding leaps. There is a frantic, brief rustle of leaves, a single, high-pitched squeak cut short, and then the profound silence of the savannah rushes back in to fill the space. The event is over as quickly as it began. It was an act not of anger or cruelty, but of simple, stark necessity. It was the answer to the quiet ache in her own belly and the unspoken promise she made to the lives waiting for her in the dark. The journey back is different. The tension is gone from her shoulders. Her pace is quicker, more direct. The deep, meditative focus of the hunt has been replaced by a new urgency, the drive to return. She carries her small prize gently in her mouth, her powerful jaws holding it with a surprising delicacy. As she gets closer to the den, her caution returns. She slows down, her senses once again reaching out, testing the world for any changes, any new scents or sounds that might have appeared in her absence. She circles the den site from a distance, her eyes and ears searching for any sign of disturbance. She smells the air, seeking reassurance that no other predator has stumbled upon her secret. All is quiet. The familiar scent of her own family is the strongest on the breeze, a beacon calling her home. She approaches the hidden entrance, a small, dark opening that is nearly invisible among the rocks and roots. She squeezes through the narrow passage, her body momentarily confined by the earth. And then she is back. She has re-entered the small, dark, safe world she created, leaving the vast, dangerous, and beautiful plains behind her. She has returned, and she has not returned empty-handed. She has fulfilled her duty, another quiet struggle won in the great, silent theatre of the wild. Let us now pull our focus away from the warm, dark intimacy of the den. Allow your awareness to drift outwards, to rise like a gentle mist, and to settle upon the vast, sleeping landscape that cradles that small, hidden pocket of life, the savannah. At this hour is a world held in a state of profound peace. The moon, now lower in the sky, casts long, soft shadows that stretch like ink spills across the plains. The air itself seems to be holding its breath, waiting for the first, faint blush of dawn. This land is not empty. It is not just a stage for the dramas of predator and prey. The land itself is alive, a complex, breathing organism with its own ancient rhythms, its own quiet triumphs, and its own deeply held secrets. It is a world where immense strength is found in stillness, and where the most important stories are written not in sound and fury, but in the patient language of roots, stone, and water. Let your attention settle upon a single, ancient acacia tree. It stands alone, a dark and intricate silhouette against the star-dusted sky. From a distance, it appears solitary, but it is, in fact, a bustling, thriving metropolis, a universe unto itself. Let's begin with what is unseen, with the secret anchor that moors this giant to the earth. Far below the surface, a network of roots spreads out, a mirror image of the canopy above. These are not blunt instruments, but sensitive, intelligent fingers of wood, probing deep into the soil. They navigate a subterranean world of rock and sand and clay, searching with infinite patience for the faintest trace of moisture. Some roots run wide and shallow, ready to drink in the brief, precious gift of a sudden rain shower. Others, a thick and powerful taproot, drive relentlessly downwards, seeking the deep, hidden aquifers, the ancient water that holds the memory of seasons long past. This root system is the tree's foundation, its history, its quiet, stubborn refusal to surrender to the dry season. It is a testament to the idea that the greatest strength is often that which is hidden from view, a deep and silent resilience that holds fast when the world above is harsh and unforgiving. This unseen network also communicates, sharing nutrients and information with other plants through a web of symbiotic fungi, a silent, subterranean language that connects the entire landscape. Now, consider its skin, the bark. Run a hand over it in your mind. It is not smooth, but deeply fissured, a landscape of ridges and valleys. Each crack, each furrow, is a line in a long story. It tells of years of scorching sun, of seasons of booming rain, of the persistent caress of the wind. It bears the faint scars of where a leopard sharpened its claws, or where an elephant once rubbed an itch. It is a living chronicle, a testament to endurance. And from this ancient skin, the tree's defense system emerges. The long, white thorns, sharp as needles, gleam faintly in the moonlight. They are not an act of aggression, but an expression of quiet wisdom. They are a declaration, perfected over millennia, that says, I will persist. I will hold my own. My life is precious, and I will protect it. They ensure that only the most careful and respectful of browsers, like the long-necked giraffe, can delicately pluck the leaves from between them. The thorns are a form of silent negotiation with the world, a beautiful and effective boundary. Some species of acacia even have a deeper secret: hollow thorns that house colonies of stinging ants. The tree provides shelter and nectar for the ants, and in return, the ants act as a microscopic army, swarming to defend their home from any creature that tries to eat the leaves. A perfect and fierce alliance. Look closer at the branches, at the delicate, feathery leaves. Each leaf is tiny, a masterpiece of design intended to minimize water loss in the hot, dry air. During the harshest parts of the day, they can fold inward, literally shrinking from the sun to conserve their vital essence. At night, they do the same, a form of plant sleep. And among these branches, another world of secrets resides. Notice the intricate, globular shapes that hang from the thinnest twigs like strange, woven fruit. These are the nests of weaver birds. They are not slapped together, but meticulously woven, strand by strand, from blades of fresh green grass. Each nest is a marvel of intuitive engineering, a hanging sphere with a downward-facing entrance tunnel, designed to protect the eggs and chicks inside from climbing predators like snakes. The tree does not mind this intrusion. It is a symbiotic relationship. The birds receive a safe and thorny fortress for their families, and in return they act as tiny, vigilant guardians, their sharp, chattering alarm calls alerting other creatures to danger. In a small crevice in the trunk, a gecko sleeps, its patterned skin a perfect camouflage against the bark. Its tiny heart beats a slow, steady rhythm. It too is a resident of this vertical city, a quiet neighbor in the grand, sprawling apartment building of the acacia. The tree gives shelter, it gives life, it gives protection. It asks for nothing in return but to be allowed to stand, to reach for the sun, and to drink from the sky and the earth. It is a silent, generous king. Now, let your awareness drift across the plains to another marvel of architecture, a termite mound. It rises from the grassland like a great, reddish-brown thumb pressed against the sky. It seems a simple thing, a pile of dried mud. But it is, in reality, a silent, bustling city, a clay lung for the earth itself. Its complexity is almost beyond imagination. This structure was not built in a day or a year, but over decades, constructed grain by tiny grain of sand, each particle mixed with saliva and clay and carried into place by a single, blind worker. The outer walls are baked hard by the sun, almost as strong as concrete, impervious to all but the most determined of predators. But the true genius lies within. The entire mound is a masterpiece of climate control. A complex network of tunnels, vents, and chimneys runs through it, designed to capture the faintest breeze and circulate it through the structure. This passive ventilation system maintains a near-constant temperature and humidity deep inside, regardless of whether the world outside is scorching hot or shivering cold. It is a fortress and a nursery, a perfect, self-regulating environment. After a rain, the mound gives off a rich, earthy smell, and its surface temporarily softens, allowing the workers to make repairs and additions, constantly remodeling their silent castle. Deep in the heart of this clay city, in a royal chamber, lives the queen. She is the source of all life here, the single, pulsating heart of the colony. Her immense body does nothing but lay eggs, a slow, continuous stream of them, one every few seconds, for years on end. She is tended to by a dedicated court of workers who feed her, clean her, and carry away her eggs to specially prepared nurseries. Other workers tend to the colony's food source, vast, subterranean fungus gardens. They chew up wood and dry grass, turning it into a mulch upon which a specialized fungus grows. This fungus is what truly feeds the millions of inhabitants. They are not just builders, they are farmers, cultivating their crops in the warm, stable darkness. The entire city functions as a single superorganism. There is no leader giving orders, no grand architect with a blueprint. There is only the collective, genetic wisdom of the colony, an emergent intelligence that allows millions of simple creatures to collaborate on a project of breathtaking complexity. The termite mound is a monument to the power of quiet, persistent, collective effort, and its role extends beyond its own walls. By breaking down dead wood and plant matter, the termites are essential recyclers, returning vital nutrients to the soil and enriching the very ground upon which the grasses grow. The grasses that will one day feed the herds that, in turn, feed the lions. It is all connected in a slow, silent, and unbreakable chain. Finally, let your mind settle on a place of memory and promise, a dry riverbed that snakes its way across the savannah. For most of the year, it is a river of sand, a pale, winding scar on the landscape. The moonlight catches the tiny, glittering grains of mica in the sand, making it sparkle with a soft, internal light. It is quiet here. The air is still. But this place is not dead. It is merely sleeping. The shape of the land itself holds the memory of water. The smooth, polished stones that littered the bed were tumbled and shaped by the powerful currents of the last wet season. The high, sandy banks were carved by floodwaters. To walk here is to walk through a memory, and it is also a place of hope. Buried deep beneath the cool, dry sand, a different kind of life waits. There are seeds, coated in a tough, protective shell, waiting for the precise trigger of a soaking rain to germinate. And deeper still, encased in a chamber of hardened mucus and dried mud, a lungfish sleeps. It is in a state of suspended animation, its heartbeat slowed to an almost imperceptible flutter, its body waiting with infinite patience for the return of the water that is its entire world. Within a deep curve of the riverbed, a small pool of water remains, a shrinking remnant of the last rains. This is a precious resource, an oasis in the dry lands, and it is a place of quiet truce. As the night deepens, different animals are drawn, here their thirst overcoming their natural fear of one another. A shy porcupine makes its way to the edge, its quills rattling softly. It drinks, its small pink tongue lapping at the water, its dark eyes warily scanning the shadows. A civet, a slinking creature of the night, follows. They drink from opposite sides of the pool, a silent, unspoken agreement passing between them. The water reflects the stars above, a perfect, dark mirror. For a few moments, it seems as if the animals are drinking not from a muddy pool, but directly from the night sky. Later, a leopard, its own thirst driving it, approaches with silent footsteps. The smaller animals melt away into the darkness, but the big cat does not give chase. It too lowers its head and drinks, its own reflection staring back at it from the still surface. This is the secret of the habitat. It is a place of endless patience, of hidden life, of silent agreements. It is a world that knows how to wait, how to endure, and how to hold onto the promise of life, even when it is unseen. And the den, where the lion cubs are sleeping, is just one more secret, one more pocket of hope, held safely in the gentle, knowing embrace of the vast and ancient wilderness. A change begins to occur in the small, dark world of the den. It is not something you see or hear in the conventional sense. It is a subtle shift in the very quality of the air. A new current, faint but distinct, trickles in from the narrow tunnel, leading to the outside world. It carries with it a new scent, one that is both familiar and exciting, layered over the cool, earthy smell of the den. It is the scent of your mother returning, the scent of the open plains, of night air, and of fresh meat. This new information filters into your deep slumber, and you and your siblings begin to stir. Not with the sharp cry of hunger, but with a low, instinctual, and collective hum of anticipation. Your small bodies, which had been a still and settled pile, now begin to wriggle, a soft, tumbling motion as the subconscious knowledge spreads through the litter. The center of your universe is approaching. The deep, muffled silence of the den is about to be replaced by the living, breathing presence that defines your entire existence. A shadow falls across the den's entrance, momentarily blocking the faint, silvery moonlight that had been filtering in. It is a solid, welcome darkness. Then, a sound, the softest of sounds, a gentle padding of immense paws on packed earth. It is the sound of safety returning. Your mother flows into the den, her great body seeming to fill the entire space, her presence a sudden and total occupation of the darkness. She brings the cool night air in with her, a refreshing wave that washes over you before it is quickly absorbed by the den's close warmth. She moves with a practiced grace, even in the confined space, her shoulders brushing against the earthen walls as she navigates around her sleeping litter. She sets down her burden, the small hair, and the scent of it, fresh and wild, now joins the complex perfume of the den. It is a scent that speaks of her success, of her power, and of her unwavering dedication to you. The very acoustics of the den change with her presence. The small space now feels infinitely safer, the silence deeper and more profound, buffered from the outside world by her living body. The reunion is a slow and deliberate ritual, a ceremony of reassurance. She does not immediately lie down. First, she must account for each of you. She moves toward the pile of wriggling bodies and lowers her great head. You feel a wet, cool nose touch your flank, a gentle nudge that is both an inspection and a greeting. A deep, low sound rumbles in her chest, not a full purr, but a soft, guttural chuff. A sound reserved only for you, a private language that communicates everything you need to know. I am here. I have returned. All is well. Then, you feel the familiar, comforting roughness of her tongue. It begins its methodical work, starting at the top of your head and moving in long, sure strokes down your entire body. This is more than a cleaning. It is an act of reclamation. She is covering you once more in her own scent, erasing any trace of the outside world, reinforcing the invisible but unbreakable bond between you. She is marking you as hers, reaffirming your place in her world. You relax completely under this attention, your body going limp with contentment. She repeats this ritual with each of your siblings, one by one, until the entire litter has been greeted, cleaned, and reclaimed, a process of patient, loving inventory. She turns her attention to the meal she has brought. She eats quietly, efficiently, the soft crunching sounds a testament to her own replenished strength. You are too young to share in this meal, your teeth too small, your body not yet ready for such solid food. But the presence of the food, the knowledge of its provision, adds to the profound sense of security that now permeates the den. It is a symbol of a future strength, a promise of the food you will one day share. After she has eaten, she nudges what remains into a corner of the den, and then her attention returns fully to you. Her duty to the outside world is done. Now, her duty is here, in the dark, with her children, reassured by her presence, by her touch, by her scent. You feel that familiar instinct stir once more. This time, it is not the sharp pang of desperate hunger, but a deeper, softer need, the need for connection, for the comfort of her closeness, for the taste of milk that is both nourishment and love. You and your siblings begin your slow, clumsy crawl towards her, a wave of determined, squeaking bodies. There is no struggle this time. She is waiting for you. She settles onto the floor of the den, her body curling into a great, warm crescent, a C-shape of fur and muscle that creates a perfect harbor, a bay of safety, protected from all sides. You and the others tumble into this space, instinctively finding your places along the warm expanse of her belly. You latch on, and the warm, sweet milk flows once more. This time, it is different. It is a slow, leisurely drink, a final toast to the end of the night. It is pure comfort, a liquid lullaby that calms the last remaining flickers of wakefulness in your mind. The world begins to slow down. The only sounds are the soft, contented suckling of the litter and the deep, even rhythm of your mother's breathing. Her purr returns, but it is different now. It is not the alert, thrumming engine of before. It is a deeper, slower, sleepier rumble, the sound of a great machine winding down for the night. It is the sound of absolute peace. The den, which had been a stage for the small dramas of hunger and reunion, now becomes a sanctuary of sleep. You feel the heavy, pleasant weight of a full belly. The warmth from your mother's body seeps into you, chasing away any hint of a chill. A sibling, already asleep, rests its heavy little head on your back, and you do not mind. The weight is a comfort, another layer of the living blanket that covers you. You are pinned to this spot, not by force, but by a profound sense of well-being. There is nowhere else you would rather be. Your own small body begins to relax in stages. First, your paws, which were kneading her belly, uncurl and go soft. Then your jaw, which was working so diligently, goes slack. Finally, your own breathing, which had been quick with excitement, now deepens and slows, unconsciously matching the rhythm of your mother's. Inhale and a long, slow exhale. Inhale and a long, slow exhale. This is the final rhythm of the night, the gentle tide that will pull you out into the deep, quiet ocean of sleep. From far outside, beyond the earthen walls, the sounds of the world continue, but they have lost all meaning. You can faintly perceive the whisper of the wind as it picks up with the coming dawn, but it is a sound from another universe, a story that does not concern you. The world can turn, the sun can rise, the great herds can move, but none of it can touch you here. Here, in this harbor of warmth and fur, you are utterly and completely shielded from it all. You are a secret kept by the earth, a treasure guarded by a queen. The hardest weeks of your life are only made possible by these moments of absolute, unconditional security. The struggle to live, to grow, to learn it is all predicated on these long periods of profound rest, where your body is free to invest all of its energy into the simple, miraculous business of becoming. You are not just sleeping, you are growing, you are strengthening, you are absorbing the lessons of the day into your very being. And so, with the taste of milk still on your tongue, with the sound of your mother's purr vibrating through your bones, and with the heavy, warm weight of your family all around you, you let go. You release your hold on the waking world and surrender to the deep, healing, and dreamless sleep of the truly safe.